thing. A couple.
Breaking news right now. Sources telling the Associated Press that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury, making him the first mayor in New York City history to face an indictment. Good evening. I'm Natasha Verma.
And I'm Steve Lacey. Rumors have been swirling that this was imminent following the federal raids on the homes of members of Mayor Adams' inner circle and the wave of high-level resignations from his administration. We have live Fox 5 coverage tonight. Let's start with Morgan McKay, who joins us now on set with this stunning development. So right now we know the indictment's coming, but we don't know for what. That's when we find out tomorrow, I guess.
Exactly. Now, we know there are at least 4 federal investigations surrounding Mayor Eric Adams right now. But from what I'm hearing from sources is that this indictment could be tied to the federal investigation looking into whether Mayor Eric Adams accepted illegal campaign donations in part from the Turkish government. Now, we first learned about this investigation on November 2nd of last year. You'll remember that the FBI raided the home of his top campaign fundraiser, Brianna Suggs, and Adams at that time was flying to D.C. and he quickly just turned around and came back.
Right.
But it's still very unclear. We do not know what's inside this indictment. We do not know what charges or if there's multiple charges in this indictment. That indictment will be unsealed, I'm hearing, tomorrow morning. So we'll hopefully learn more there. But we just also recently found out as of this week that the federal investigators have broadened their search and have included other countries such as Israel, South Korea, Uzbekistan, Qatar, and China. Now, we know that Adams has traveled to China at least 7 times. He's traveled to Israel last year. He traveled to Qatar in 2022, I believe. And so he said he has also been to South Korea when he was a state senator. And as far as we know, he has not made a trip to Uzbekistan, but maybe there's something there. Maybe they just saw some sort of piece of information. It's also really unclear if this is tied to any of the other investigations, particularly looking at the NYPD Commissioner Edward Cohen.
So we don't know the specifics, but at its face, I mean, this is a stunning development. I mean, it kicks off now in an indictment of a mayor for the first time in New York City. What happens next in the process with Mayor Adams?
So this is huge. There's only 2 New York City mayors who have ever resigned in history. That was Jimmy Walker in 1932 and William O'Dyer in 1950. So right now, if Adams doesn't resign, the only person who can remove him from office is Governor Kathy Hochul. If he does decide to resign, then this kicks off a pretty quick process. So the public advocate, Jumaane Williams, would step in as acting mayor, and then they would have an election about within 80 days of when he steps in. And after that, all the candidates would come forward and be ranked choice voting, and there would be no party affiliation. So it would be just an open election because there would be no primaries.
Right, and we have heard a little bit from the mayor tonight, sort of previewing what we think is going to be his likely defense strategy, right?
Exactly. We got a statement from the mayor, and he said,
"My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground, all of you, that I would be a target. And a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. If I'm charged, I know I am innocent. I will request an immediate trial so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief, I put the people of New York before party and politics. Now, if I am charged, many may say I should resign because I cannot manage the city while fighting the case. I can also understand how everyday New Yorkers will be concerned that I cannot do my job while I face accusations. But I have been facing these lies for months since I began to speak out for all of you and their investigation started. Yet the city has continued to improve. Make no mistake, you elected me to lead this city, and lead it I will. I humbly ask for your prayers and your patience as we see this through. God bless you. God bless the city of New York. Thank you.
Quote, I always knew that if I stood my ground for New Yorkers, that I would be a target, and a target I became. If I am charged, I am innocent, and I will fight this with every ounce of my strength and spirit. Now, obviously, they're reading a little bit between the lines. Something that he's kind of been hinting at, and some people have said out loud, is that he believes in part that he has been targeted by the federal government because of his criticism of the Biden administration when it comes to the migrant crisis. He was one of the most open critics of Biden when it comes to migrant crisis, since New York City has seen over 200,000 migrants come to the city in just the past 2 years. Obviously, that's not exactly what he's saying, of course, out loud, but hopefully we'll hear more from him tomorrow, because another question, too, is when will he surrender to the feds?
That's right. I mean, you're always at City Hall, and over the last few weeks, I mean, really since September 4th, I mean, when the federal investigators seized electronic devices from city's police commissioner, schools chancellor, deputy mayor of public safety, first deputy mayor. I mean, since then, top aides have been investigated by feds. What has been the energy, the feelings at City Hall?
Right now, people have becoming growing increasingly frustrated with the distractions. And they say it's hard to do their job. It's even hard to communicate with the press about something that they want to talk about, some initiative that they want to do, because everyone is just talking about this right now. Now, since, in just the past hour, we have seen just an outpouring of people and lawmakers coming forward, calling on Adams to resign. I think at least 5 more lawmakers on top of the 8 that have already called on him to resign.
AOC being one of them too?
Exactly. Yeah. And so I know from one of my sources, they were saying that, there was possibly some indication maybe to her that this was coming down. Now, the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, he kind of was defending Adams a little bit earlier today when he was asked, because he said, we need Eric Adams to be successful because he is the mayor of New York City. So I don't know if he'll have more comments after this indictment.
Make no mistake, you elected me to lead this city, and lead it I will. I humbly ask for your prayers and your patience as we see this through. God bless you. God bless the city of New York. Thank you.